Okay, so we will start with the mock test 3. Then we'll start with the very first question. If you guys feel like you have any questions throughout this session, feel free to ask at any time. The first question is this. If A is 2, 4, 2, 2, then the determinant of A is what? So A is equal to 2, 4, 2, 2. How do you find determinant? You take these two, multiply them, these two, and multiply them. So 2 times 2 minus the other 2 that you're multiplying, 4 times 2. All right? So you're multiplying the first 2, the 2 times 2 over here. So these two are going to be the first thing you're going to multiply, which is here. And then you're going to multiply these two over here. And you're going to subtract them from each other. So it's equal to 4 minus 8, which is equal to negative 4. So the answer here is negative 4. Very easy first question. Let's look at the next question. Then solve this using Cramer's rule. This is what the question says. Solve the following simultaneous equation using Cramer's rule. Again, Cramer's rule, you're going to look at the x values. You're going to make your matrix. So you're going to look at the x values over here, 19 and 39. You're going to write 19, 39. You're going to look at your y values, which is minus 6, again, with the sign, minus 6 and 21. So minus 6 and 21. And then you're going to look at your solution, which is over here. But now keep one thing in mind. This is minus 96 is on the left side. So we have to first move this to the other side. So it will become plus 96 over here. Okay, so it's going to be 0 plus 96, which is just 96. And we have removed it from this side. Make sure that you are always in the standard form where x's are above each other and the y's are above each other. And then the constants are all on the right side. Okay, that's the first step you have to do. So your solution is going to be these two values, which is 57 and 96. Cramer's rule is the whole idea is finding your determinant first of your matrix, which is just D. D of the matrix, 19 times 21, minus 39 into negative 6. Okay. 1 second. Minus 6. So if you put this in the calculator very quickly, 19 times 21 minus 39 times negative 6. This is going to give you 627. All right. So 627 is your D. Now, let me make sure that this is correct. 19 times 21. Yeah, 19 times 21 minus 39 times minus 6. Yeah, 633. Sorry, 633. All right, 633. So this is our determinant. Now we need to find our dx and dy values. So remember, to do that, you just have to do a matrix for each one, where you're gonna, for dx now, we're looking at dx. Dx, you're gonna find the determinant. You're gonna replace the first column with your solution. So it's gonna be 5796. Okay. And then the y will stay the same, which is minus 621. So again, I repeat, for dx, you replace your x column with the solution. So this is going to be equal to the determinant. Again, it's 57 times 21 minus 96 times negative 6, which is equal to 57 times 21 minus 96 times minus 6, which is equal to 1773. This is for dx. For dy, you're going to do the same thing, but for the y column. So it's going to be equal to, the first thing is going to be your dx, which is just 1939. The second one, so the first one is just your x column. Your second one is going to be the solution instead of the y. So it's 5796, which is equal to 19 times 96, just the determinant, minus 39 times 96, Put that into your calculator. You're going to get 19 times 96 minus 39 times 96, negative 1920. All right. Now to find your x and y, very simple. X is equal to dx over d. So it's equal to 1773 over 633. Okay, so it's dx divided by d. 1773 over 663. And your y is going to be dy over d, which is minus 1920 over 633. And this is your answer. So dy 1920 divided by 633. If you put it in your calculator, this gets simplified. So your y gets simplified and it will become minus 640 over what's my mistake? You have mistake. Both you multiply by 96. 19 times 96. Where did I multiply by 96 for both? 19 times 96 minus 39 times 96. Oh, times 57. Okay, yeah, you're right. Thank you. So this is my mistake. Thank you for spotting that. I was rushing through this. So 19 times 96 for the first one, minus 39 times 57. All right, just basic determinant. I was just rushing, my bad there. If I just recalculate this determinant, it is negative 399. Okay, so it is going to be negative 399 over 633. So let's look at our x value. X value here is correct. Here it's correct. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. Okay. So it's either A or B. Let's look at our y value. Our y value is negative 399,633. So this is wrong. And doesn't matter, the remaining are wrong. So your answer is going to be A. All right. This is how you just do Cramer's rule. I went through this very clearly in the session for matrices. Now, let's solve this fraction. So here we have this question, which is x plus 6 over 65. So x plus 6 over 65 plus x minus 25 divided by 12 is equal to 1. Okay, so again, the way I usually solve these, I'll make this smaller now so we can just look at our equation, is the first step I do is I find the common denominator over here. How do I do that? I multiply the left side by the 12 up and down. So it's going to be multiplied by 12 up and down. And for the right side, I'm going to be multiplying by 65 up and down. So it's going to be times 65 up and times 65 down. All right. This is how you find your common denominator. You take the denominator, multiply it up and down in the other fraction, and take the denominator of this fraction and multiply it up and down by the other fraction. Okay, I'm not going to go through the algebra. I'm just going to solve it very quickly. So it's going to be, I'm just going to show you this form. It's going to be 12 into x plus 6 over 12 times 65, which is 780, plus 65 into x minus 25 over 780 is equal to 1. So now if you notice, you can just combine these two so that they become one part. I will also do the distribution. So it's going to be 12x plus 6 times 12, which is 72, plus 65 times x, minus, because plus times minus, 65 times minus 25, which is 1625, all divided by 780. It's equal to 1. Okay. I've done a lot of these in the very first session, if you remember. Now we just simplify. This is 65x. Now we just simplify. So we group up the x's together. 12 plus 65 is 77x plus, or actually minus, because it's going to be 72 minus 1625, which is minus 1553, all over 780 is equal to 1. We cross multiply. Remember, this is as if it's 1 over 1. So we're just going to cross multiply. Okay. We're going to get 77x minus 1553 times 1, which is just the same thing, is equal to 780 times 1, which is 780. We take this to the other side. 77x is equal to 780 plus 1553, which is 2333. X is going to be equal to 2333 divided by 77. How did we get that? We just divide both sides by 77. Okay. Again, did this in the very first session, so we have solved a lot of these. Okay, the answers are in decimals. So in decimal form, this is going to be equal to 30.2987. Okay, usually I write it up to 4 or 5, and then I will round. So this is my final answer. So 30.29 is also 30.30 when rounded to 2 decimal places, which is here, number C. All right, moving on to the next question. Simplify the Algebraic algebraic question. So this one's very simple. Most of you should know this one. So here we're just simplifying. Okay, we have 79s, 36s, and 16s. We're going to group them up together. So 79s plus 36s plus 16s minus 8 minus 4. Okay, anything with the s's we'll group together. Anything without we will group separately. So 79 plus 36 plus 16 is 131s. Minus 8 minus 4 is minus 12. All right, so this is plus 12. This is minus 12 over here. So this is our answer. Very simple. Okay. Now a question you guys might enjoy. The triangle question. This one is an easy one. So find the length of side x. Let me just redraw the triangle very quickly. Okay, it looks something like this. But here we have a right angle. Okay, and here we have an angle of 75 degrees. We need to find x. So if this is a right angle, remember that means this is our hypotenuse. All right, this is our h, our hypotenuse. We have this angle, we need to find x. Our x is opposite. So this is our opposite. Okay, so we have the hypotenuse as e, which is given to be 79. So this is 79. And we need to find x. Since we have hypotenuse O, first thing you do is SOHCAHTOA. So SOHCAHTOA. All right. We need something that has hypotenuse, and this has hypotenuse, this has hypotenuse, and when you want something اللي يكون عنده الopposite بعد. فالopposite is this and this. So it's the first one that has both. So we know that sine 75 is equal to opposite, which is x, divided by the hypotenuse, which is 79. Rearrange this, we get x is equal to 79 times sine of 75. So x will be equal to 79 sine 75, which is 76.308. First one, 76.308. That is our x value. All right. This is an easy triangle. Yes, you can solve this directly in the calculator if you're comfortable enough. Well, there's no issue with that. Now, which of the following is the cosine rule? Okay, this is a nice question. So again, remember cosine rule, when we did it in the way I did it, we did c squared. Let me just actually copy paste it from last week. So cosine rules are this. We have these three things. Okay, I didn't explain this the last time, but it's the same concept. So you can use cosine rule for any side. Okay, when you're finding c squared, it has to be the angle which is opposite to c. When you're finding a squared, it has to be the angle opposite to a, and when you're finding b squared, it has to be the angle opposite to b, which I called alpha, beta, and gamma. So that's what you need to make sure is correct here. So first things first, all of these are wrong. Why? Because we have a negative sign over here. There is a negative sign. This is plus, so we know this is wrong. This is plus, we know this is wrong. This is plus, we know this is wrong. Let's look at this. A squared is equal to b squared plus c squared, okay, minus 2 times b times C times cosine alpha, or the angle between them, they called it capital A. So this is the correct cosine rule. Please do not put 48, okay? Please do not put 48 for the formula. Moving on to the next question. This is mock test 3. Moving on to the next question. Simplify the following, again, algebraic equation. This one looks a bit more messy, so let's just see how it looks like. So it is 17 times 3x squared. Again, when you see x power 2, this basically means x squared, okay? It's the same thing. Yeah, so 3x squared minus 18x plus 1 minus 8 times x squared plus 12x minus 1. Distribute 17 times 3, I think is 54, 51, 51x squared minus 18 times 17, which is 306x plus 17, 17 times 1 is 17, minus 8x squared, minus and plus becomes minus times 8 times 12, which is 96x, minus 8 and minus 1 becomes plus 8. Now, again, we're going to look at the like terms. So x squared, we're going to take these and combine them together. The minus 306x with the minus 96x, we're combining together, and 17 plus 8, we're combining together. So we're going to get 51x squared minus, so it's 51 minus 8. We'll have 43x squared minus 306 minus 96. We're going to get minus 402x plus 17 plus 8. So plus 17 plus 8 is 25. So we know this is wrong. It has a 9. It has a 9. We know we have 25. These are all correct. In the middle, we have 402x, so it's not this. The first one is 43x, so it's not this. This is our answer. All right. Very simple. Let's look at the next question. Okay. I'm guessing this is just a printing error because I printed this. So cosine B is equal to fraction 2376. So this, what this basically means is cosine of B is equal to 23 over 76. Okay, this is what they gave you. Find tangent of B. Again, remember I showed you two methods last time. So I'll just do one method here, which I prefer. Remember that cosine B is equal to opposite over, it's equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. All right, and tangent B is going to be equal to opposite over adjacent. How do I know this? SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. Okay. So what am I going to do? I have the adjacent and I have the hypotenuse. Remember Pythagoras? Pythagoras says that the hypotenuse is equal to the other sides, whichever it is, opposite squared plus adjacent squared. It doesn't matter in which order. So hypotenuse squared is equal to opposite squared, which is just simply c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared, okay? It's the same thing. Don't get confused by this. It's exactly the same thing. So the hypotenuse is given as 76. This is our hypotenuse, 76. It's hypotenuse, and our adjacent is given as 23. Okay, so if we just substitute in the equation, we will get h, which is 76 squared, is equal to the opposite squared. This isn't 0, this is opposite, plus a squared, which is 23 squared. All right. Once we find this, how do we solve this now? So we just take the 23 squared to the other side. We will get OP squared is equal to 76 squared minus 23 squared. So OP is equal to the square root of 76 squared minus 23 squared. Again, how did I get here? I just square rooted both sides, okay? So the square root here will cancel with the square, and we'll be left with this equation, which is square root of 76 minus 76 squared minus 23 squared, which is equal to 72.436. Okay, if I round to 1, If I round to like a whole number, this is just 72. So what do we know? Tangent is opposite over adjacent. So now that we have found our opposite, it's 72 over what is our adjacent? 23. So the answer is 72 over 23, which is D. Okay, this is how I would solve this question. Let's move on to the next one. Again, if you guys have any questions at any point, feel free to stop me and ask. It's fine. Okay, so this is the question. Find the remaining measures given the following values. So this is saying that BA is equal to 59 and angle alpha is equal to 20 degrees. Again, I think this is just because of the printing. It became like this. So BA is 59 and alpha is 20 degrees. The question says find the following. We need to find angle beta. So angle beta, we're going to need to find this. We're going to need to find line BC. And we're going to need to find line CA. All right. Easiest way to do all of this is by just applying SOHCAHTOA instantly. So SOHCAHTOA. All right. If I redraw the triangle very quickly, we have beta over here. This is beta. This is alpha, which is 20 degrees. All right. And they gave us, this is B, this is C, this is A. So BA is 59. 59 is our hypotenuse. Remember that. This is the hypotenuse because it is opposite to the angle. And so now that we have our hypotenuse, we have at least one side and one angle. We can apply SOHCAHTOA to find everything else. So let's find everything else. So first things first, angles in a triangle are equal to 180 degrees. Okay, so it's going to be 20 degrees plus 90 degrees, which is our right angle, plus beta is equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, we're going to have, if we simplify this, take everything to the other side, beta is equal to 180 minus 20 minus 90. So it's equal to 180 minus 20 minus 90 is 70. So this is 70 degrees. So we found our beta. Now let's find the remaining two sides using alpha again. SOHCAHTOA again. We are given the hypotenuse, so we know we have the hypotenuse. All right. So we're going to be using both our sine and cosine equations, one to find the opposite and one to find the adjacent. So what is the opposite and the adjacent? To the alpha, again, we're looking at the 20 degrees. This is opposite and this is adjacent, right? We are looking at alpha. All right, we're looking at this angle. This is the angle that is that we're doing our SOHCAHTOA with. So very simply, sine of 20 degrees is equal to the opposite. So it is BC. BC is the opposite over BA, which is the hypotenuse, which is 59. Simplifying this, we're going to get BC is equal to 59 sine 20 degrees. So BC is going to be equal to 59 sine 20, 20.179 or 20.18 if we round to 2 decimal places. Again, the same thing we're going to do for cosine. So I'm just going to move this a bit up. Make it smaller, move it up. Again, the same thing we're going to do for cosine. So cosine 20 degrees is equal to, what's cosine? Adjacent over hypotenuse. So adjacent A, which we need to find, which is AC. Actually, side AC or CA, it's the same thing. Over the hypotenuse, which is 59. Therefore, AC is equal to 59 cosine 20. So AC is 59 cosine 20, 55.442 or 55.44 if we're rounding to 2 decimal places. And that's how you find all your sides and all your angles. All right, when you're given any triangle. Tamam. Moving on to the next question. Where is it? There we go. So the question says, find the angle theta correct to degree of the following triangle where A is 76 centimeters and B is 39 centimeters. So now we're given sides. We're given two sides. So if I just redraw this triangle, this is what it looks like تقريبا. No, not like that actually. It's a right triangle, so right. And it's a bit bent like this. So this is our right triangle. This is the angle we need to find theta. All right. And they gave us A is 76 centimeters and B is 39 centimeters. All right. So first of all, we need to determine where our hypotenuse is, which is here, opposite to a right angle. When a right angle here opposite to it, 76 centimeters. So this is our hypotenuse. And the other value that is given is adjacent. So this is our adjacent value. So SOHCAHTOA TOA, remember we're trying to find the angle. So TOA, we have hypotenuse and adjacent. So we're going to be using cosine because we have the hypotenuse and adjacent. So cosine theta is equal to adjacent, which is 39, divided by 76. Therefore, theta is equal to cosine inverse of 39 divided by 76. And theta will be equal to cosine inverse of 39 divided by 76, which is 59.126, or to the nearest degree would be 59. When they say to the nearest degree, they just mean that there is no decimal points, okay? I just noticed something in the solutions. This is how the solutions are given. They're already given in terms of cosine inverse. So this is going to be the solution. Cosine inverse 39 over 76. So it's not sine, it's not tan. And it's 39 up, 76 down. So it's not this one. This is going to be our answer. All right. Yani, why do we not use tan? A very good question. Lena, we're trying to find this angle. All right. What is given? What are the parts that are given? The parts that are given is hypotenuse and adjacent. So we are trying to look at the hypotenuse and adjacent in one equation. Here we only have adjacent, we don't have hypotenuse, so we can't solve using tan. And here we only have the hypotenuse, we don't have the adjacent, so we can't use this. Okay. All right, let's go on to the next question. Which of the following is sine rule? Before even reading anything else, I see a number. I'm just going to say that this is definitely not sine rule. This is not a sine rule. Now let's look at the rest. We know that these are cosine rule. There is a cosine in it, literally. All right. We know that sine rule is ratios. It's division, so it's not plus and minus. So it's not this. So is it the first one or the second one? Remember, sine rule, the signs have to always be in the same place. So if this is sine A over A, then this has to be sine as well up top. It cannot be without a sign over B. Okay, so here we have sine up and then sine down. So this is incorrect. Here we have A over sine A and B over sine B, which is correct. Again, remember, you can either write it in this way or you can write the A above and sine A down and B above and sine B down. Okay, the signs have to always be just in the same row, and the non-sign values or the sides, yani, they have to be in the same place, up or down. Okay. Next question. Next question is solve the fraction. Solve the fraction. This is basically 31 over x is equal to x over 84. Okay. How do we solve this? We just simply cross multiply from the very beginning. Cross multiply. We're going to get 31 times 84 on one side is equal to x times x, which is x squared on the other side. So to find x, we just do the square root. So 31, 84. We just do the square root because this is squared. So this and this will cancel. So x is going to be equal to the square root of 31 times 84, which is 51.0294. We'll round later on. Let's see the number that is closest anyways. Not this, not this, not this, not this. 51.03. Yes, that is our answer. Okay. Next question. Oof. Okay. Here I'm gonna have to do some coding in my head. 1 second. And then a fraction. So the question basically says we have this fraction, which is 69 z to the power of 11 over 6y squared times another fraction, which is 35y to the power of 23 over 16z. Okay, so this is the question. The way I solve this, I already showed how I solve this, but the way I usually solve this is, first thing, I have to simplify. Okay, so I have to multiply everything into everything. So it's going to be 69 times 35. I'll keep the constants outside here. And then we'll have z11 and y23. This is our numerator, all over 6 times 16. I'll keep the constants alone here. So this is this 6 times 16, and then everything remaining outside. All right. So we can simplify this now even further. The way I will do it, the next step is I will put numbers by themselves, the letters z's by themselves, and the letters y's by themselves. So this is how it will look like. So 69 times 35, let me just simplify it from now. 69 times 35, which is 2415 over 6 times 16, which is 96, okay? Times, again, I'm going to keep my y's alone. So what y do we have up? We have y23. What y do we have down? We have y2 times, again, same thing. I'm going to put my z's. I'm going to put my z's here together. So up we have z11, down we have z. Powers, remember when you have division, this is minus this. Same thing over here, 11 minus this is power 1, so it's minus 1. Okay, let's simplify. So 2415 divided by 96 is going to give me 25.15625, all right, times y to the power of 23 minus 2 times z to the power of 11 minus 1. I will always recommend don't take shortcuts and solve it this way if you're not confident in resolving, okay? So 25.15625, y is 23 minus 2, so it's y 23 minus 2 is 21. Z 11 minus 1 is 10. So this is our answer. 25.15625, y to the power of 21, z to the power of 10. So the first thing I will look at is this has a different constant completely, so it's incorrect. Y, here they have ordered it z first and then y, so you can do the same. So you could just write this as equal to 25.16, z first, which is 10, and then y, which is 21. It doesn't matter which order you put it in, as long as it's the correct power. For z10, so where is z10? This is z12, it's wrong. So it's one of these two. And our y is 21, so it's not 25, so it is this answer. Okay? No reciprocal? I mean, I will share this entire document with you guys as soon as we're done with this. Don't worry. I will send this all. You will have it as a PDF if you guys want. Then, so what was I saying? Reciprocal, you're not going to do the reciprocal here. You're just going to start solving. Remember your rules. If you get negative up, okay, this is just a side note. If you get y to the power of minus 5 as a solution, this is equal to 1 over y to the power of 5. That's it. But you do not need to do any reciprocal. Reciprocal will happen when you have a division. So if this question was, again, this is a side note, okay? Side note. If this was division, all right? The first part is going to be the exact same thing. It's not going to change. The second part, you're going to do the reciprocal. شو يعني reciprocal? Because you're going to multiply. reciprocal معناته بنعكس اللي فوق ويا تحت. إنزين يعني هذا بنوديه فوق واللي فوق بنوديه تحت. So reciprocal means we're just flipping them up. So it's going to be 16z over 35y to the power of 23. So I repeat, if you have division بتحصلون reciprocal, which is basically just flipping up and down, and then you will replace your division with multiplication, and then you'll continue solving the same way I did above here. All right, so this is just a side note. Now let's move on to the next question. My God, next question كلش ما أعرف شو أصلا هو. Let me try to see it on Moodle. If I can open Moodle, 1 second. عشان بس تعرفون what I'm looking at. Okay, so you guys have an idea. Let me just first find the question. It's in week 7, right? Week 7, yes, week 7, mock test 3. Review. And then question 13. خلصنا. Question 14. بس عشان تشوفون what I'm looking at when I printed this. And this is what I got. This is the question. So I have no idea what this question is, but now that I have opened it on Moodle, I'm just going to use Moodle now as my source. I don't know why I didn't do that from the beginning. And then this is the question we have now. A matrix question. Compute M. Compute M. Addition. Remember, when we have matrix addition, first rule, you have to make sure that they're the exact same size. This is a 2 by 2, 2 by 2. What does that mean? It's 2 rows, 2 columns, 2 rows, 2 columns. So we're going to add each value together. So this is going to be 1 plus 1, which is 2. This is going to be minus 1 plus 2, which is 1. This is going to be 0 plus 2, which is 2. And this is going to be 3 plus 0, which is 3. بما معناه, what am I doing? I'm adding this with this plus. Then I'm doing this and this plus. Then I'm doing this and this plus. Then I'm doing this and this. I already used purple. This and this. And I'm adding them to each other. That's what I'm doing here. All right? That's all it is. So this is just 3 plus 0 from here. This is 0 plus 2 from here. This is 1 plus 1 from here. And this is negative 1 plus 2 from there. Okay, so this is our final matrix. Our final matrix is 2, 1, 2, 3. All right, simple addition. So let's look at the next question. What is the length of a diagonal? What is the length of the diagonal of a rectangle? So we have a rectangle. Okay, we have a rectangle. And we need to find the diagonal. And we know the rectangle is 56 by 12 centimeters. And then the diagonal is going to be from one edge to the other. يعني diagonal يوم يقولون بتروحون من زاوية للزاوية اللي عكسها. هذا هو diagonal. إنزين. So now if you notice we have a triangle. We have a right triangle because this is a right angle. Okay? And this is our C. Our hypotenuse or our C. And we have our side, so we can use Pythagoras. So A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. A squared, we can choose any of them as A or B, so 56 squared plus 12 squared is equal to C squared. معناته C is equal to the square root of 56 squared plus 12 squared. ليش؟ لأن هني if we just do the square root, it will cancel, and we have to do anything we do to the left, we do to the right. So it's going to be like this. I'll put this in the calculator now. This is equal to the square root of 56 squared plus 12 squared. تمام. 57.27. It said round to the nearest whole number, so it's just 57, which is the first answer. تمام. Going on to the next question, question 16. Now, I'll take it a bit slow here with this question. So we have a triangle here. زين. We have a triangle of this shape. They want us to find the angle of A. And then the angle of A is basically here, this angle. تمام? This is the angle of A. In the question, it says A angle of A, and they put this as point A. So معناته this is our angle of A. All right. So this is angle A. Okay. So this is A, B, C. Oh, sorry, A, B is the other side. This is C. And they gave us that this is A, small b, small c, and they gave us the values. They gave us small a is 12, a b is 8, a small b is 8, and small c is 14. Okay? Remember, when you have three sides, you can find the angle using cosine rule. Okay? Because we're not dealing with the right triangle anymore. We have three sides. So we're going to use the cosine rule, which was, remember, in the form of c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine the angle gamma. But this was for the angle gamma. This angle is for the angle that is opposite to c. Then, or let's say cosine c, so you guys are not too confused. Cosine large c. Cosine the angle of c. Then, so again, this was used when we are looking at angle C. Now we're looking at angle A. So our equation will become A squared, small a squared is equal to, this should be small as well, is equal to small c squared plus small b squared minus 2 times c times b times the cosine of angle A, because we're looking for angle A. تمام? فبعد, I will repeat. Since we are looking at this angle, which is opposite to this side, which is side A, this is just A is equal to 12, okay? Since we are looking at this angle, we are going to have to equate the opposite to this. So A squared will be the first term, which is the opposite to this angle. And then, if they told us to find B, we're going to have B here. So if the angle B, which is this. So if they said, for example, this is angle B, okay? This is B is equal to 8. If they said find angle B, we're going to put B on the left side of the equation, and we're going to write B squared is equal to A squared plus blah, 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 and continue on. All right? So it's the side that is opposite to the angle is equal to the remaining sides. And you're adding the remaining sides and then multiplying the remaining sides. That's what this means. So let's solve. Let's plug in all the numbers we have. So A squared is 12 squared is equal to C squared is C was 14. This is C. C is 14 squared. B is 8 squared. Minus 2 times C, which is 14. B, which is 8. Cosine the angle that we're trying to find, which is angle A. All right? Simplify and solve this. So first thing, you'll take these two and take them to the other side. So it's going to be 12 squared minus 14 squared minus 8 squared is equal to, what's remaining? Negative 2 into 14 into 8 cosine A. All right? And now you're just doing algebra. So you're going to divide both sides now. We're going to be dividing both sides by negative 2 times 14 times 8. So divide by minus 2 times 14 times 8. So we can cancel it from this side here and here. And of course, we're going to divide it on this side as well. 14, 8, right? So now we're going to have an equation, which is cosine alpha is equal to 12 squared minus 14 squared minus 8 squared divided by minus 2, 14 into 8. Let's just put this in the calculator. So 12 squared minus 14 squared minus 8 squared. Again, in the calculator, write it the exact same way I'm writing it here. Put your parentheses and everything so you guys don't make a mistake with the signs, okay? So write it the same exact way. So, or you can start solving them from the initial point, and here just squaring everything and then just moving the numbers and summing them. That's up to you, whichever you're more comfortable with. Tamam. 12 squared minus 14 squared minus 8 squared divided by negative 2 times 14 times 8. I will get 29 over 56, which is also equal to 0.51786. Okay. Now we are going to do our final step, which is cosine inverse. So now we have our angle A is equal to the cosine inverse of this value, which is 29 over 56. Therefore, angle A is equal to cosine inverse of this answer is 58.811 degrees. So 58.811 degrees. None of these are 58.811 degrees. Let us follow our steps again. Let me make sure I did my calculation correctly. Cosine inverse of 29 divided by 56. Yep, it's 58 degrees. Let me make sure I'm doing everything correctly from my math. The equation is, wait, did I put my A, B, and C correctly? Yes, yes, yes. We're trying to find angle A. Okay. 12 squared is equal to 14 squared plus 8 squared plus minus 2 times 14. Yep, okay, that is correct. My substitutions are correct. Let me just check again. 12 squared minus 14 squared minus 8 squared divided by minus 2 into 14 into 8. Yep, it's 29 over 56. Then there's a problem actually with the question because I'm 100% sure of my solving. This should be your answer. I think they might have made the mistake where they wanted an angle for C or B instead, but this is 100% correct the way I just solved this, all right? What I did was correct, and I believe خلينا نشوف model what answer they put. They put 121. Not possible. بقول لكم ليش not possible. لأن angle C is bigger than angle the side C is bigger than side A. So this cannot be that big. If it's that big معناته ما بقى شيء حق هذا. يعني لو تلاحظون angle A is smaller than a right angle تقريبا. لأن عندنا هني 12 وهني عندنا 14. If we were drawing this to dimensions, it will be incorrect. So I don't know why they put this as the answer, but this is not correct. This is the actual correct answer for this question. Okay. Sometimes Moodle does make mistakes. Sometimes they do plug in the wrong answer, or sometimes they put the wrong question as well. So yeah, I'm guessing this would be the angle for C. Let's try to find angle C using sine rule. So sine rule would be sine of angle A or angle C over side C, which is 14, is equal to sine of angle A. So sine of angle A, what was our answer? This is our answer. So sine of this, sine of angle A is 0.88855 over A is 12. Okay, so if I simplify this, I'll get angle C is equal to, I'm just checking this for myself to make sure I know what is going on here. Divide by 12. Shift sine answer. No, that's also wrong because 86 I got for 86 for angle C, 86. So again, I have no idea where they got this value from, but I know for a fact this is not right. And do you want me to prove why these angles all don't make sense? Because remember, 90 degrees is a right angle. Then let us actually do this, draw this to scale. So we know that A is 12, B is 8, and C is 14. All right? A is equal to 12, B is 8, and C is equal to 14. Okay? Let us draw it to scale. So our A, if we count the boxes here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right? These are 12 boxes for A. And then B has to be 8 boxes. And then at a specific angle up there, and where C is going to be 14 as well. So if B, we just draw it as this for now. Okay. Actually, a simpler way to do it will be this way. So we know that B, this is A. This is A. Let's draw B in a straight line. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is B. This size is size B. So I'm just going to take this line and put it here at a specific angle. Then we will know which angle it is exactly. And let us draw C. C is 14, which is bigger than A by 2. So C is going to be this line from here to here, because this is 14. This is 12 for A, 15, 16 for C. And C is connected over here. Oops, 1 second. So this is C that is connected over here. If you notice the angle now, if you notice the triangle, it looks a little bit different. It looks much different, actually. It looks like this. Almost. Because this is B, which we're trying to find. So it's somewhere almost here. تقريبا يعني. Somewhere almost like that. Something like this. Very close to this. Very close to this. All right? And we almost got it perfectly right. Again, this is our C, this is our A, and this is our B. If you notice, now, this is C, and this is B. This is what our triangle looks like. It almost has a right angle here, almost. Remember, this is to scale, so these dimensions are all correct. So if we look at الحين الانجل اللي هني, الانجل مال C, تقريبا it is almost 90 degrees. Almost 90 degrees. What does that mean? معناته our number 86 is correct for angle C, because this is 86 degrees. 86. So actually, what it would really look like is this would be even a bit more tilted there, and this will be an acute angle, so it will be something like that. This is how our triangle actually looks like. زين? So this is our angle C, which is 86 degrees, which is just small enough. So it makes sense that our angle A here, it's not close to 90 degrees. It's equal to 58 degrees, which makes sense. لأن it cannot be an obtuse angle. If you remember what an obtuse angle is, it's an angle that is greater than 90 degrees. So this is why my solving is correct, and there's a problem with the question. All right. Just wanted to show you guys يعني, how I usually analyze triangles in general. If you know the concept, it should make sense instantly when you're looking at a wrong question. Wrong questions happen. It is fine. Just make sure you're focused on the concept here. You know how to use cosine rule. It's always going to be the angle opposite to the side that you will choose to put here on your left side of the equation. So in this case, because we're looking at angle A, we're going to use A for the side, and then the angle A is going to be the cosine of. Moving on. And then moving on. Let's see. Okay, any matrix questions I'm going to skip from now on. Then there's a question that says find the adjoint. Again, you guys, this is a formula you should apply. There's another question that says solve this. Okay, this we didn't really solve something similar to this, so let me solve. Again, matrix questions I'm going to skip because I did cover matrices very well, I believe. It's just equations and applying equations. هني, again, we have 8x minus 28 over 3 plus 16 is equal to 84. Just so you know, since there's no x's here, very simple. All you're going to do is take this to the other side and cross multiply. So it's going to be 8x minus 28 over 3 is equal to 84 minus 16. 84 minus 16, which is 68. Okay. Again, we're taking this to the other side, so it will become minus 16. This is like 68 over 1, cross multiply, and then solve for x. Okay. I'm not going to go through the details, but this is how you would start solving this. You guys should know how to do your cross multiplications now. Okay. Again, here, I just want to go over a very quick concept. Then, if you guys have a question, it's fine. I will stop and I'll answer that question for you. Here, again, compute M. M is equal to this matrix minus this matrix. So remember, this is minus now. So you have to just make sure when you're doing the subtraction, you have to do minus. And, oops, and make sure you are multiplying this 4 inside. So you have to distribute first. So this is going to be 4 times minus 2, 4 times 4, 4 times 1, and 4 times minus 8. Okay? This is how you would distribute this. So your matrix will be 4 times negative 2 is negative 8, 4 times 4 is 16, 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 times negative 8 is negative 32. Okay? And for minus, all right, just be careful with the minus. If it's minus, you're going to have to do subtraction, not addition, or you can just distribute the minus inside, whichever method is more comfortable with you guys. So minus 3, 4, minus 3, 4. Again, you're going to look at the first value here and the first value here, and you're going to put a minus in between them. So it's going to be minus 8 minus minus 3. All right, this is what I mean by be careful with your negative sign, because there's a negative here and a negative here, and there is minus in between. So it's minus 8 minus negative 3. All right, same thing for the rest. So this is 16 and 4. You're going to do 16 minus 4, and so on and so forth. All right, and that's how you will solve this matrix. Come on. Moving on. Let's see. I'm going through this quickly because I'm noticing we're running out of time and there's a lot more questions, and I want to focus more on the things that I find difficult. And then, can I use 12 for the first formula? I don't know. قاعد تتكلم عن شكلك التريجونوmetry. Okay. Do you have more? I will do more trigonometry. I will look at the trigonometry questions. Don't worry. But I want to cover like some basic things as well, so you guys just have a general refresher at the same time of how to solve. When is sine rule applicable? So when is sine rule applicable? None. 52. Please do not put any of these answers or any time. There is no such thing as any time. So now this is the actual two things. 3 sides or 2 sides and the angle included. When we have 3 sides, we cannot do sine rule. If we have A, B, and C, we cannot use sine rule. Why? Because sine rule, you have to have sine alpha over A is equal to sine of something over B. So you have to have at least one of these angles to be able to solve. All right? So this is also incorrect. So it's 2 angles and 1 side, or 2 sides and a non-included angle. Again, non-included angle, يعني not the angle that is between A and C. It has to be opposite to them. All right? So this is our correct answer. Tamam? That's when you will be using sine rule. Very quickly, I will solve this as well. Very easy question. Very, very easy. But I just want to go over the concept. Again, transpose. All you're going to do, because I remember when I was teaching this, you guys got confused. Number your rows and columns. So this is 1, 2, 3. All right? This is 1, 2, 3. The way you're going to write them is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You're going to swap your rows and your columns. Okay? So the blue is swapped with the green. That's what you're going to do. And then you're going to write your matrix. Fair? The first column, you're going to put it as a row. So it's going to be 3, 2, 4. Your second column, you're going to put it as a row. So 0, 2, 1. And then your third column, you're going to put it again as a row. To check if you're right, look at, for example, 3, 2. All right, 3, 2. It has the number 2. Again here, green 3, blue 2. Giga, what? What did I do wrong? One second. Oh, I copied wrong. Okay, I copied wrong. This is 0, 2, 2. That's all I did. Again, I repeat. So 3, 0, 1, 2, 2, 1. Let me just check. 4, 2, 4. Yeah, okay. So you're going to look at this, and you're going to look at its row and column number. So the green 3 is over here, green 3. Blue 2 is blue 2. What number is it? It's the number 2. Yes, we have the same thing over here. So from the green 3 to the blue 2. This is how you will check. So you have 2, okay? Transpose is very easy. Just write your columns, write your rows, and then flip them. You will write your columns as rows and your rows as columns, okay? Moving on. Let's do this example here. I notice a lot of people usually struggling with this. This is what a lot of people for some reason are asking. So we have 81 x to the power 70 over 13 y 17. Divide now. So when we have divide, we write the first one the same way. Over 13y 17 times, and we flip this up and down. All right. We take the reciprocal فبس نعكسهم بيستوي 3x going up and y going down, y49. Again, now you're just going to multiply everything into each other. That's it. So we have 81 times 3, x70 times x36 over 13 times 12, y17 times y49. All right. Since we have the same things and like here, it's multiplication in between them, right? We have multiplication. So this is x times x and y times y. So we know that the above two are going to be added. That's all this means. This is going to be added with this. That's all this means, right? You're just going to add. So if we simplify this, 81 times 3 is 243. X 70 plus 36 over 13 times 12, 156. Y 17 plus 49. So this is equal to, because in this case we have multiplication, not division. Remember, it has to be the same base, yani the same variable. So 243 divided by 156, I'll just simplify that from now. It is 81 over 52. Okay. X 70 plus 36, 70 plus 36 is 106, so x to the power of 106 over y 49 plus 17 is 66, y to the power of 66. And that's it, that's your answer. Let's look at how the answers are given. So, okay, the answers are given in this form. Don't get confused. Again, don't get confused, okay? We got this answer, 81 over 52. All you're going to do is simplify the 81 over 52 and put it as a number instead. So it's going to look like this. 81 divided by 52 is equal to 1.5578. 78, sorry, 1.5577. All right, this is what I got. Or if we round to the nearest, it's 1.56 times, again, x to the power 106 divided by y to the power of 66. Let's find, this is wrong. This has no constant, it's wrong. This is 34, it's wrong. This is 106 over 66. This is our answer. All right, not this one. That's it. This is how you would do this. Because this, if you simplify this, this is 1.56, right? When you round it to 2 decimal places. Moving on. Just again, very quickly, because I do notice a lot of people have issues with simplifying. When you simplify, you're just going to distribute the x's inside. You're going to distribute the negative 54, all of it inside. Okay, so you're going to get x times x, which is x squared, minus 28x, all right, for the first part. And then the second part, you're distributing negative 54. So negative 54 times positive x, which is negative 54x, and negative 54 times positive 13, which is negative 54 times 13, 702. And then again, the like terms, you're going to simplify. So x squared is the only term here. Minus 28x minus 54 is minus 82x, and then minus 702. All right. Next question, finding the inverse. Again, this is just basic application of equation. Just let me review all of it with you guys very quickly. So you guys just remember matrices. Matrices, you have four main things I believe you need to remember. It was week 4. 4 main things you need to remember. Addition, addition and multiplication, yani how to add and multiply. And then you need to remember how to use Cramer's rule as well. All right. So Cramer's rule, addition and multiplication. And you have the determinants, knowing how to use determinants. And then you have the adjoint, the transpose and the adjoints, which is here. So remember transpose. Transpose is just flipping. All right. 1, 2, and 2. I just showed you. Determinant, remember, multiply this and that. Adjoint, you're going to flip and then multiply by minus, and the blue area is over here. So you're going to be flipping the first and last number, and then you're going to be multiplying by minus. And the inverse, it has to be a square matrix, just as also the adjoint, it has to be a square matrix. To find it, even for a determinant, it has to be a square matrix. And for the inverse, the determinant should not be equal to 0. This is the equation for it. All right. So A inverse, you know what? Let me actually solve this question. So you guys just remember, this will cover all the concepts of it. Very quickly, let me solve this question for you guys. So the question given is find the inverse of this matrix. All right. So the first thing you would do is find the determinant of it. So determinant of A is equal to 5 times 3 minus 1 times 3. So it's equal to 15 minus 3, which is equal to 12. All right. So this is the first thing. We find determinant. Nice. Second thing, we find the adjoint. The adjoint of this matrix is equal to, we flip the 5 and the 3. So we flip the 5 and the 3, it becomes 3 and 5. And we multiply by minus for the 1 and the 3 over here. So it becomes -1 and -3. Last step, now to find the inverse. A inverse is going to be equal to 1 over, we apply this equation, 1 over the determinant, which is 12, times the adjoint, which is times this matrix, which is 3, minus 1, 5. This is just scalar multiplication. You can just distribute this 1 over 12 inside. So the inverse matrix is going to look like this. 3 over 12, minus 3 over 12, minus 1 over 12, 5 over 12. Again, we're just distributing 1 over 12. Yani we're multiplying 3 by 1 over 12. Multiplying minus 3 by 1 over 12. Minus 1 by 1 over 12. 5 by 1 over 12. And this will be your final answer. All right? طبعا, you can simplify this more because you have 3 over 12 up. So you can simplify it more. So this is going to be equal to 3 over 12 is just 1 over 4. This is minus 1 over 4. This is minus 1 over 12. We can't simplify it anymore. And this is 5 over 12. We can't simplify it anymore. So if we look at the solutions or the choices, these are the choices they are giving you, which is, so the first one is 1 over 4, okay, minus 1 over 4, okay, minus 1 over 12, okay, 5 over 12. The first one is correct. This is your answer. Let's double check everything else. This has 3 over 4, it is wrong. This has 17 over 12, which is wrong. This has 11 over 12, which is wrong. Okay. So this is how you would solve your adjoint or inverse problem. If they ask what the adjoint is, all you have to do is just do this step directly. They ask what the determinant is, all you have to do is just do this step directly. This is just the revision of all of matrices. Now, let us look at this question. Another fun question. So, let us find C. Okay. Find side C given the following values. So they gave us that B here is equal to 39. Angle beta, which is this angle, is equal to 35 degrees. And the angle gamma is equal to 71 degrees. This is not a right triangle, so we cannot use SOHCAHTOA. What do we have? We have two angles and a side. So we know we can use two angles and a side. We have to use sine rule instantly. When you see you have two angles and one side, in other words, if you always see you have one side, معناته no, you have to use sine rule. All right. So how do you use sine rule? We look at what we want to find. We want to find our C value, which is over here. Okay. What we don't know or what we're trying to find, we put it first. So C is going to be divided by the sine of the angle opposite to C. What angle is opposite to C? It's 71 degrees, which is equal to, and now we have our known values, B, which is 39, over the sine of the angle opposite to B, which is 35. All right, simplify this. So this is going to be C is equal to 39 sine 71 over sine 35. C is equal to 39 sine 71 divided by sine 35. يساوي 64.29. All right. All answers should be to two decimal places. Just so you know, the actual answer I got was 2.89992. All right. So the two decimal places, just a reminder, this is where two decimal places is, as in 1, 2, two decimal places. We look at this number. If it's greater than or equal to 5, then we add 1 here. So this is going to be 64.29. All right. That is how you would use sine rule. لاحظوا في السؤال ما قال لكم استخدموا cosine ولا cosine. You guys should know that by yourself. So it will not necessarily mention use sine or cosine. You guys should know when to use sine and when to use cosine depending on what is given. In this case, again, you are given two angles and one side. When you are given two angles and one side, instantly know that is sine rule. Then when you have one side, instantly know that is sine rule. لأنه for cosine rule, you need at least two sides to use. All right? Now let's see. Can I go up? Abdullah لين وين تبغاني I go up? Where did you say that? Because I wasn't looking at teams. You know, at this question ولا the next one? عشان I also take a break from talking too much لأن صوتي بدأ شوي يروح. Next question. This question. لحد بعد هني زين. What do you want to see? So again, this is the equation. A inverse is equal to 1 over determinant of A times the adjoint A. We found the determinant of A. We found the adjoint of A. The adjoint, we just flip. This is our equation. We flip the 5 and the 3, so it becomes 3 and 5. And we add negatives to the 1 and 3. We multiply them with a negative number, minus 1, minus 3. زين. بعدها هني we just distribute. So we found our inverse by applying this equation. Okay. We apply this equation. Oops. This equation over here is being applied to find the inverse. That's all we did. So we put the 1 over 12, 3 minus 1 minus 3, 5, which is the joint. بعدين وزعنا, and that's it. I'll take a 5-minute break. زين. إن شاء الله بنخلص كل الأسئلة by the end of the session. Just let me catch my voice. 5-minute break. We'll be back at 8:30. Okay? Take a break. Also, you guys take a break. I recommend you stand, walk around a bit. خلي مخكم شوي ينخلط. زين. And then come back in 5 minutes so that you can focus up again for the next few questions. All right? We have almost 9 more questions left to go, or 10 more questions left to go for this mock test. I want to complete it as fast as I can عشان بعد عندنا شوية extra time I can answer any specific questions you guys might have. تمام? So 5 minutes break and we will be back. All right, let us continue. Okay, so the next question is, let's see, we reached here. Again, we've already solved a similar question to this. Find the length of a total rectangle that has a diagonal of 84 feet and a width of 17. So we have a rectangle. Okay. We have a rectangle. The length of the rectangle is what we need to find. So we need to find this length here, L, right? We call this L over here. And we know that the diagonal basically من زاوية لزاوية يعني the corner from corner to corner is 84 feet. And we know that the width of it is 17 feet. Okay, again, right angle. So this is Pythagoras. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. So L squared يعني the L is our A. So L squared plus B squared is just 17 squared is equal to the hypotenuse squared, which is 84 squared. Then L squared is going to be equal to 84 squared minus 17 squared, which is gonna be, when we want to find L, actually, we're gonna have to do the square root of that, which is 84 squared minus 17 squared, okay? Again, remember, square root, because we did the square root here to cancel the power 2, so we have to do a square root here as well. Put that in the calculator. 84 squared minus 17 squared is equal to, square root of that is equal to 82.262. So 82.26, which is C. All right, very simple question, Pythagoras, simple way to solve. All right, matrix multiplication, let's just go over that to remind you guys how it's done. So matrix multiplication, we have this matrix times this matrix. Remember, when you multiply a matrix with a matrix, you're going to multiply, you're going to have to look at, this is a 2 by 2 times a 2 by 2. Since the columns here is equal to the rows here, so you can do the multiplication, and your solution is going to be the rows here times the columns here. All right, so the first step is you're going to take the first row, or the first value from the first row. So you're going to do this. You're going to multiply minus 3 by minus 3. All right, so you're going to be multiplying those. It's going to be negative 3 times negative 3 is, and then you're going to be multiplying these two, minus 3 and 3. All right, plus you're going to add them up and then. So this is going to be minus 3 times minus 3, which is the first one, plus minus 3 times 3. This is going to be your first solution. So if we want to number this matrix, this is row 1, 2, 1, first column, second column. So for 1, 1, all right, 1, 1 is going to be this. So this is how we're going to solve for the first box, which is 1, 1. It is going to be equal to minus 3 times minus 3 is 9, plus negative 3 times positive 3 is negative 9. So this is 0, right? 0. Then we're going to look at 1, 2, the second box, which is 1, first row, second column. So again, first row, second column. So we're going to look at this now. We're going to be looking at the same row. So we're going to be looking at the same row. So this row, we're going to multiply this minus 3, but now we're looking at the second column. So we're multiplying it with minus 4. All right. And we're going to be looking at the same row again. So minus 3. And we're going to be multiplying it with 2. So this is going to be minus 3 times minus 4 plus minus 3 from the first matrix times 2 from the second matrix. And this is going to be equal to negative 3 times negative 4 is 12 plus negative 3 times 2, which is 6. So Negative 12. 12 minus 6, which is just 6. All right. So this is 6. Now that we finished with our first row, we're going to look at our second row. Second row, first column. The second row, first column. So we're going to be looking at this value, minus 3, and first row. All right. First column. So the second row, 2, second row, times the first column. And then we're going to be doing the first row, first column, the second value of it. So minus 3 times minus 3, minus 3 times minus 3, all right? And then 1 and 3. 1 and 3, okay? Addition in between. Negative and negative becomes positive, 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. So this is row 2, column 1. Row 2, column 1, all right? 12. And last one is going to be this. Again, same thing, minus 3. And let me actually just use black for the last one. So this is minus 3 into the second column now. Because remember, now we're doing 2, 2. We finished with 2, 1. We're going to be doing 2, 2. So 2, 2 is going to be the second row into the second column. Okay. So negative 3 into negative 4. So negative 3 into the negative 4 times plus 1 into 2. So 1 into 2 plus. This is going to be equal to negative, and negative becomes positive. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 3, or 12 plus 2, sorry, is 14. 14. So the answer is 0, 6, 12, 14. All right? That's how you will do your matrix multiplication. Again, I went through about this in details in the previous video, so if you do not get the concept here, you can just refer to that. Transposing. Now, transpose the following formula to make y the subject. Again, subject means we want this as our subject, so this y, we want it to be by itself. We want it to be in its own side equal to something. So this is x equal 29 plus square root of y. Okay. أول step, we will remove anything that is plus or minus next to this. We will take to the other side. فعندنا هني 29. We will take this to the other side. So it will become x minus 29, because this is plus 29, becomes minus here, is equal to the square root of y. All right. Now, how do we get rid of a root? We have to square both sides. Square both sides, because here it will cancel. Right. So we will be remaining with y is equal to x minus 29 all squared. So y is equal to x minus 29, nope, x squared, nope, it's outside, x minus 29 squared. So this is our y. This is how you do transposing. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's look at the next question. So we have here another triangle question, which says find the side B. Find the side B given the following values. They gave us that A is 248, so we have one side. C is 389. And we have beta, which is the angle in between them. So 78 degrees. Since we are given the angle in between them, we know we have to use cosine rule. We have two sides and the angle that is in between them. So we have to use cosine rule. All right. What are we using cosine rule for? B, because we are given the angle beta. So B squared is equal to A squared plus C squared minus 2 times A times C cosine beta. All right. We have the values, all the numbers here. So it's B squared is equal to A squared is 248 squared plus 389 squared, which is C, minus 2 times 248, 389, cosine the angle in between, which is 78 degrees, right? You can put all of this into the calculator. So b squared will be equal to 248 squared minus plus 389 squared minus 2 into 248 into 389 cosine 78 degrees. So I got a large number of 172,709.6867. Doesn't matter. We're going to have to do the square root now so we can get rid of the squared. So b is going to be equal to the square root of that number, which is 415.5835. All right, it wants it to 2 decimal places. So rounding, this is less than 5, so we'll do nothing here. Our number is 415.58. This is our b value. Okay, that's how you will solve this problem. Again, I identified that I have a side and a side here. And the angle is the angle that is between them. So instantly I know it's cosine rule because the angle given is the angle that is between them. If any other angle was given, I would be using sine rule. All right. Next question says, we can use SOHCAHTOA for, all right, not 71, not none. All right. So it's not any triangle. We cannot use it for any triangle. When do we use it? Only when we have right triangles. That is the only time you can use SOHCAHTOA. A right triangle is basically a triangle that has a right angle. All right. That is the only time you can use SOHCAHTOA. Okay. So not this either. Non-right triangles? No. We can only use it for right triangles. Next question. Also, by the way, not just SOHCAHTOA, also Pythagoras. You can only use it for right triangles. All right. Next question. Find the length of x of side x of the triangle below where a is equal to 11. So we know that this is equal to 11. All right. Again, we need to determine where our hypotenuse is first. So this line over here is our hypotenuse. This is our h. The angle given here is 30. So we know that this is our adjacent. And we know that x is our opposite. All right. So SOHCAHTOA. Tamam. So what do we have? We have a. We have a given. So we know we need to use something that has a in it. So it's either this or this. And what are we trying to find? We're trying to find x, which is an opposite. So we're looking for the letter O now, which is here and here. So what has both? TOA. So we're going to be using tan of the angle, which is 30 degrees, is equal to opposite, which is x, over adjacent, which is 11. So x is going to be equal to 11 tan 30 degrees. So x is going to be equal to times 11, 6.35085. So it's not this, it's not this, it's over here. All right. 6.351 when you round it to 3 decimal places. When is cosine rule applicable? Again, we've already discussed this, but let's look at it again. So when is cosine rule applicable? When, okay, first of all, no, not a number, not none, and not any triangle. All right, definitely not. Maybe none, depends on the cases that we have given. Okay, but definitely not any triangle, and definitely it's not just a number. But do we use it when we have 3 sides or 2 sides and the included angle? Yes. Manata, this is our answer. 2 angles and 1 side? Nope. It's not 2 angles. In cosine rule, we need either 1 angle or 3 sides. And this angle has to be the included angle. Otherwise, we cannot use cosine rule. If you see 2 angles, just instantly assume you're using sine rule. All right? Okay. Again, if 2 angles, instantly know it is sine rule. Again, if one side is only given, so 1 side, instantly assume it is sine rule. Okay? If it is 3 sides given, instantly you know it is cosine rule. That's how it always is. All right? So if it's only 2 angles, sine rule. If it's one side, definitely sine rule. 100%. It doesn't matter which two angles or which one side. If it's all three sides, definitely cosine rule. All right. Let's see the next one. Okay, the question is just simplify this. 82x19 times 24x3. Already have showed you guys this. Since this is multiplication, this and this will be plus, and then you're just going to multiply the constants outside. So it's 82 times 24 x to the power of 19 plus 3. All right, simplify, and that will be your answer. Next question. Again, same idea. We've already done a lot of simplify questions, so you guys should know this. And the last one is just using Cramer's rule to solve. Let's do it. Why not? One last Cramer's rule, and then we will be done. So this question is 8x plus 1 is equal plus 1y is equal to -9, and -5x plus 3y is equal to 1. All right, that is the question. So the first part, it says find the determinant D. So it's telling you step by step what to do. So part A is find the determinant D. How do we do that? First, let's draw our matrix. Our matrix is 8 minus 5, right? 8 minus 5. We are looking at the x's. Now we're looking at the y's, 1 and 3. All the constants are to the right side. Perfect. So our solution is -9 and 1. Okay. Determinant 8 times 3 minus 5 times 1. So it's equal to 8 times 3 is 24 minus -5 times 1, which is +5. So it is 29. That is the first part. We find our D. Okay, so all we need is now this that we will keep taking with us while solving. All right, this is our matrix. So part B, it says find dx. Again, dx, now the matrix for dx is going to be, we're replacing the solution with the x part. So remember, this is x, this is y. We're replacing the solution with the x part, so it's -9, 1, 1, and 3. Tamam? And now we find the determinant. What's the determinant of this? -9 into 3 minus 1 into 1 equal to -9 times 3 is 27, or negative times 7, and then -1, -28. So we have found our dx. C, I'm guessing it's dy. Yes, find dy. dy is equal to, again, we look at the original matrix, we replace the solution with y. So x stays the same, which is 8 and -5. Y will become -9 and 1. And now we find the determinant. 8 times 1 minus -5 times -9. All right, be careful with the signs. A lot of people usually make mistakes with the signs. So 8, 1 minus -5 minus 9 is equal to -37. Okay, since we found our dx, our dy, and d, I'm guessing the next part is going to be find the solution. Yeah, so just so you know, this is the way it is asked. Find the solution is asked in this way. All right, don't get confused. It's just x and y, x and y. So you need to find x, whatever value you have, you put it here, and you find y, whatever value you have, you put here. Remember that x, move this a bit down now, x is equal to dx by d, so it's equal to -28 over the determinant we found earlier, which is 29, and y is equal to dy by d, which is equal to -37 divided by 29. And that will be your answer. All right, so this is your x, and this is your y. That's it. And that's the mock test. Any questions? بعد نفس الطرف. دقيقة. سألته أسئلة بس I'm not sure about which part. So before Cramer's rule I'm guessing. هني كان السؤال. أول واحد سأل tan roll what? Tan roll. Tangent. No, there isn't the tan rule. ما أعرف عن شو تتكلم. بعد نفس التعريف ولا غير الساين؟ هذا السؤال اللي كنت تتكلمون عنه؟ إيه. ما فهمت أسئلتكم. Can you guys just clarify what you mean؟ تحت شوي. هني بعد نفس التعريف ولا غير الساين؟ هذا التعريف مال كوساين، هذا هو التعريف مال كوساين رول. زين، هذا التعريف مال ساين رول. اوكي، تعريف من ناحية التعريف 3 sides or 2 sides and the included angle is cosine rule. زين، فإذا تشوفون 3 sides سيدا عرفوا إنه it's cosine rule. 2 angles and 1 side or 2 sides and the non-included angle, that is sine rule. زين، فأول ما تشوفون 2 angles just know that it is sine rule. okay, that is هذا هو الفرق. إن شاء الله جاوبت السؤال يعني. ما شاء الله حسن مجهز الدفتر. زين, before I move on and answer your questions, I'm gonna stop the recording here. All right. This will all be posted